My name is Judy Codd, and this is
Eileen Kaplan.
Hi, Doc.
And Lee and I are the co-chairs of Jonathan's campaign. And we're really looking forward I'm going to read a few words from Patricia Lafoubar. She's the president of the Don Valley North Provincial Liberal Association. And she's being very cautious of health today, and because of an exposure, is staying home. But she sent along these words. When Jonathan was named as the Ontario Liberal candidate for Don Valley North, my first thought was, of course, he's great. That, it turns out, was putting it mildly. Jonathan's commitment to this riding, his understanding of all the needs of the various communities that make up Don Valley North, and his empathy are outstanding. On a campus a few months ago, he ran across the street to greet someone with the words, "Hi, I'm Jonathan. I used to deliver your newspaper." The constituent remembered him, and that is truly remarkable. And I'm sure we have his vote. Jonathan, our Don Valley North PLA, is behind you and with you over the coming weeks to ensure that you are elected as our next provincial representative. I can only agree with this. I've known Jonathan for many years, and community is at the heart of so many things he does. And I'm going to have my friend here, Lee, just talk a little bit about Jonathan.
So I've known John since he was a wee little liberal.
I was number 2.
And has been helping out with the liberal campaigns of my husband in this area. And so excited to see him running. And just wanted to bring up a few things, is that we can't do this without donations. So there's a lot of donation forms if people can actually donate and fill in your volunteer forms. That's just going to make this an excellent campaign. Thank you.
The forms are at the front in case you're looking for them. There's also volunteer forms, and we need you to volunteer. So please fill them out, and you'll be hearing from us. Next we have Michael Chan. Michael?
Mr. Chair.
Thank you so much, Rochelle. And I'm kind of like looking at the campaign flyer, as you can see. You know, such a beautiful Jonathan there. I think you stole my coat.
We shop at the same store.
That's fantastic. So you're really a little bit grown up liberal now, on that. Ladies and gentlemen, delighted to be here. Very glad, and for this office campaign opening. Let me talk about campaign office. Campaign office is a place to welcome every one of you. Campaign office is really the center of winning an election. And campaign office also need you to be here as frequent as possible, so that we can have enough volunteers knocking on doors. We can bring people in here, perhaps to fill out the form for a bit of donation to help out. And also people like Councillor and MP Hondong that provide strategy. So campaign office is very, very important and critical in winning an election. So I encourage you, come here all the time, and also get your friends, relatives, come here all the time, so that Jonathan will become the next MPP for Don Valley North. Thank you so very much.
Hello everyone. Here, I'll break the rule and take this off and then stand further away from those folks. I'll tell a funny story, Jonathan. And Minister Chan and our MP Handong will appreciate this because they were there. My sister lived in Toronto for a long time, but then she moved to Nova Scotia right around 2018. And she's back right now for a visit. And she said to me, "Why are there pot stores everywhere? Why don't they just do what we do in Nova Scotia? You know what we do? It's just attached to the Liquor Control Board. We just have a few stores and the liquor store runs them. Then you don't have to have them everywhere. Does that sound familiar, Minister Chan? Is that what we promised? Is that what we promised? Yeah, we promised, and people are now wishing that that's what was going on. It makes a lot more sense. It would be a lot easier to manage. It's the little things like that that have turned into big problems that we've got to talk about. Because people are distracted by this very difficult pandemic, and they haven't stopped to make a list of things that should be different, should be very different than they are right now. We have to help them. And so you can do a lot to help Jonathan just by talking about that in your everyday lives. But then you have to do one other thing. While you're talking about it, if someone says, yeah, you're right, I'm not happy, and I'm really thinking about it now. And then you say to them, well, you're sitting in Don Valley North. We should have our Liberal seat back. I know how many people really wish they had their Liberal seat back. They say it to me all the time. If each and every one of the Don Valley Northerners who wishes we had our Liberal provincial seat back gave Jonathan 2-3 hours, we'd have no problem. So everyone you talk to, you got to say to them, give him a few of your hours, give him a few of your dollars. We really got to make this happen. And if they really think about it, they know why. There's so many reasons why we need this to happen. How many people have talked to a teacher who wishes these were still mandated in school boards for just a few more weeks? Just a few more weeks. How many teachers are nervous every day? How many parents are nervous as they send their kids off to school? And yet the school board, both of them now, public and Catholic, asked, let us have the mandate for a few more weeks. We don't want to be in a constant argument and turmoil. And the answer was no. No, you can't. We're in control and we say no. No, you may not make your classroom safer. How is that an answer from government to people? We've got to make sure that Jonathan is our voice for Don Valley North. So many people come to me every day and say, I don't like this. I wish you were there. I'm doing all the work that I can at City Hall. The best candidate for Don Valley North provincially right now is someone like Jonathan. Because once he's in, we need him to be there for a very long time. His youthful energy in that house and staying there to do us a lot of work. So he is the perfect candidate for right now. And we all have to make sure that he makes it. I'm going to do everything I can. And I've already reestablished my ABC donation. It's coming at you, Jonathan. I just wanted to say one more thing. I'm really grateful that Jonathan has a head start already. He is a great PLA. This PLA, when we lost this seat, stayed together, has continued to work very hard. And so Jonathan comes in with a fantastic group of people. That's not happening everywhere in Ontario, but it happened in Don Valley North. Moose kept it going as president. Judy's doing great work. And so we start with a great organization behind us. If you get involved and you volunteer a few hours, it won't be all on your shoulders. You got a great PLA, you got a fantastic campaign team and management. We just all have to hunker down and get Jonathan in that seat. I'm going to help.
Here, here.
As well. Good afternoon, friends. First of all, I want you to look around this room. We have liberals, local liberals, who's been at this for decades, Lee and Judy and Eleanor and you name it. And then we have brothers from the Muslim community. We have proud members from Armenian community. We have members from the Filipino community. Of course, the great Chinese community and everyone's coming out. This is the face of Don Valley North. Multi-generational, multicultural, and you know, quite honestly, multi-belief, which is fine. Liberal has a big tent. We all come together and share ideas and look for the best solution for the majority of voters. But I have not seen that in the last 4 years. Now, some may think that me and Shelley, we were in the fight in 2018, and yeah, we got defeated, but that's not the reason why we're going to give 120% to support Jonathan. The reason is what I am seeing, or what I have been seeing, is incompetent leader followed by either incompetent member or members who are too afraid to speak up. That's not right. When you are elected MPP, you have to speak up for the minds of your constituents. When you see something's wrong with our education system, with our long-term care system, with our healthcare system, with our reaction in dealing with the pandemics, you speak up. The Ontario government only spent less than 20% of the entire cost to fight the pandemic. And in the last month, they've announced billions of dollars making commitments. You have to think about what have they been in the last 4 years. You have to think about why are they doing that. It's because June 2nd is near, it's coming. So, as educated, informed constituents, volunteers, electors, we're not only going to see different parties' policy this time, not only their track record in governing in Ontario, but also you got to ask this question: who is more competent to do the job? Down to a local level. So when you go knock on doors, when you talk to voters, make sure you ask that tough question. Because that ballot, it took us a lot of work to earn everybody the right to vote. This is like, the Chinese voters know about this, and we have a campaign going on, and you're all educated with that. That ballot means a lot. We have the choice to elect the government we want for the next 4 years. And in my view, Jonathan Tsao, a local boy who really understands not just politics, but needs of constituents, is the best choice. It's the best choice for the next MPP for Don Valley North. Thank you.
Well, I don't know it was a good idea for me to go last following professional politicians who have been in the game for a long time. And now everyone's looking at me, but thank you so much. Thank you to Lee and Judy, who are our campaign co-chairs and who are really, I would say, stalwarts of this community. Lee is a nurse. Judy is a public education advocate as our former trustee. So it's amazing to have local advocates like this by my side. And of course, Michael Chan. Michael Chan, I just want to tell a quick story. So when I first entered Queen's Park in 2009, I'll take a step back. My family on my mom's side, we've been in Toronto since 1896. That's 1896, not 1986. But even as a fifth generation Canadian, I will tell you, when you have a face that looks different from the majority, I still get treated as if I could have walked off the plane yesterday, even though inside I'm as Canadian as anyone else. But going to Queen's Park as a young man in 2009, and even before that, starting my career there, I had a role model. And it's this man right here. Michael Chan in the legislature of Ontario proved to me and to my colleagues and people who look like me across this province that we matter. We have a voice, that no matter how long you've been in this country, no matter what religion you are, no matter what you look like, we don't just have a chance to succeed in Ontario. What we have in Ontario is a right to lead. And that's because of the simple fact that you're Ontarians. So Michael, thank you for being that example. And I think the overall arching message that we've had today is local leadership matters. And that's why I'm in this election. I'm born and raised and live in this riding. I love this neighborhood. I look around. Everyone that I see here are my friends, my family. I mean, wonderful members from the Armenian community here represented. Wonderful members from our mosque represented. Wonderful members from our Greek community represented. Young people, people of long experience, our CYC, everyone is here because we all know that we need local leadership in this riding. And I'm going to be frank with you folks. I'm not going to sugarcoat my words. For the last 4 years, what we've lacked in this riding in this neighborhood of Don Valley North is a voice that represents us and a voice that is willing to stand up for us. And that's done. That's over. It's not anymore. But you know, it's all well and good for me to say that. But it's not going to happen without your support. This is the campaign. This isn't the campaign here. This is the face that goes on the lip for better or for worse. This is the campaign. I know the cameras are looking at me, but this is a room full of people right now. And we're relying on each and every single one of you to knock on doors, make telephone calls, donate some money, and get those Liberal voters out because, my friends, without you, without each and every single one of you, this campaign doesn't exist. So I'm so happy, I'm so proud to have all of you with me today to share in this experience. And I know for a fact, on June 2nd, with all of you by my side, with these fantastic leaders all surrounding me, we're going to be successful. And Don Valley North, once again, will be Liberal red like Michael Chan's jacket. Good? Everyone thumbs up? Yay!